Professor of European Studies at Stanford University in Berlin. He joins us live from there. It seems like quite an ambitious meeting with quite a bold set of initiatives, and perhaps a little bit surprising for some that Meloni is leading it, someone who's billed herself as quite tough and conservative. What's your take on all that?
Well, Meloni is very much under pressure in Italy. She promised to reduce the number of migrants, and in fact, they increased in the time since Meloni became prime minister in Italy. So, presenting herself as a global leader, as the chairwoman of the G7, brings quite a lot of reputation. And as we see, a lot of invitations that she sent out were positively responded. So she appears as a global player, and that resonates back home in Italy when she doesn't really get a lot of things done domestically. The question remains if this will really bring the expected outcomes, or is it just a show? If it's just outsourcing domestic problems like can we shift the asylum policy procedures to the African continent and make them do the dirty work that we don't want to do at home or cannot do? That will certainly not be a lasting result. And the same goes for energy. There's a growing need to diversify and to find new solutions for the energy dependency that Europe just cut when Russia invaded Ukraine. But to just send a signal like we have problems and you now have to fix them is certainly not what African leaders expect Europeans to do.
And of course, ultimately, African leaders will want to see investment in their country. Does Meloni and others, do they have the cash to deliver on that, or meaningful amounts of cash anyway?
Well, Italy is very much under pressure and under the observation of the financial markets. And that came for some as a surprise that Meloni had very high-flying expectations how to rebuild the European Union. And then she didn't do much different things compared with what the all-party except the Fratelli government under Draghi did, because the markets would instantly punish her for making things that are not appreciated under the regime of how the European Union functions. So the idea of bringing the European Union on board follows the idea of what has been tested in Tunisia. The EU spends money, and so Italy appears as the player that finds a solution outside of the European Union, and being a border country with a higher burden on what happens if people arrive on European soil than it is Italy. This is something that one can understand, but it only sugarcoats the general quite racist and securitization of migration policy that this government followed for a long time.
All right, Ulrich Brueckner from Germany, many thanks.